of affectionate amusement. "The show won't start for 20 minutes at least," she said as they went to the back door to greet their friends. They had called themselves the Tangled Web Quilters when Sylvia and Sarah had joined the Bee nearly 2 years before, but together they adopted the new name to symbolize the creation of a new group and to celebrate the beginning of their business, Elm Creek Quilts. Gwen and Summer entered first, laughing together like no mother and daughter Sylvia had ever known. Bonnie followed close behind, carrying a large cardboard box. "I cleared out a storage room at the shop last night," Bonnie told them. "I've got scraps, leftover ribbon, and some thread that's been discontinued. I thought we could use it when classes start up again in March." Sarah thanked her, took the box, and placed it on the floor out of the way. Bonnie owned Grandma's Attic, Waterford's only quilt shop. Elm Creek Quilts ordered material and notions through her, and in return, Bonnie gave them any leftovers or irregulars that couldn't be sold. Sylvia admired Bonnie's generosity, which hadn't lessened even after the new chain fabric store on the outskirts of town opened and began steadily siphoning away her income. Diane entered just in time to overhear Bonnie's words. "You should let us root through that box first," she said, holding the door open for Agnes. "I can always use a bit of extra fabric, especially if it's free." "Did you hear that?" Gwen asked Bonnie as Judy entered, holding the hand of her 3-year-old daughter, Emily. "Better turn on the security cameras next time you let Diane help in the shop." Diane looked puzzled. "You have security cameras? I never noticed any." When the others began to chuckle, she grew indignant. "Not that I had any reason to look." Gwen's eyebrows rose. "Sounds to me like you have a guilty conscience." The hallway rang with laughter, and Sylvia's heart soared as she looked around the circle of women. She had welcomed them into her home, first as friends, and later as business colleagues. In her heart, though, she would always consider them family. Not that they could replace the family she had lost more than 50 years before. No one could do that. But they were a great comfort nonetheless. The new arrivals were breathless with excitement and red-cheeked from the cold. They put their coats away in the hall closet and soon were settling into the formal parlor. Sarah took a seat on the sofa beside Sylvia's chair. "Didn't I promise you someday you'd be glad we got cable?" she said as she turned on the television. "Indeed you did," Sylvia said. "But I'll reserve judgment until after the show." "Sarah's going to drag you kicking and screaming into the 21st century if it's the last thing she does," Gwen said. "She most certainly will not," Sylvia retorted. "I have more dignity than that. I'll move along calmly and quietly, thank you." Emily squirmed on Judy's lap. "I want to sit by Sarah." "Sarah wants to see this show," Judy told her. "Maybe later she can play." "That's okay. Emily can sit here if she likes." Sarah slid over and patted the seat beside her. "I haven't seen her in 2 days. We have lots to talk about." Emily jumped down from her mother's lap and ran across the room to Sarah, who laughed and helped her climb onto the sofa. "When are you going to have one of your own?" Diane asked. Sarah rolled her eyes. "You sound like my mother." "You can't wait forever, you know." "I realize that." Sarah shot Diane a quick frown before putting her arm around Emily. Emily giggled and smiled up at her. Sylvia caught the fragrance of baby shampoo and something else, something sweet and fresh beneath it, and she wondered why Sarah, who used to speak confidently about having children someday, hadn't said a word on the subject in months. Perhaps the couple had decided against having children, or perhaps they had no choice. Sylvia didn't want to pry, but her heart was troubled for Sarah and Matt, and she wished she knew how to help them. "Where is Matthew, anyway?" Sylvia wondered aloud. "He's inspecting the orchards for storm damage," Sarah said. "He said he'd try to make it back in time for the show, but—" She shrugged. "He can't miss this," Judy protested. "He won't. There's a new tape in the VCR." Sarah smiled, tight-lipped. "You know how he is about those trees. Besides, he was here for the filming last fall, and that was the exciting part, right?" "Nonsense," Sylvia wanted to say, but she kept quiet. "The show's starting," Summer announced, taking the remote from Sarah. Sylvia saw their eyes meet and something passed between them. Whatever it was, it made Sarah relax, and so